This is Rambo bringing you casual thoughts from a casual player on GGStrive. I thought I'd hop back into Revelator 2 right after I got out of the beta today, just to kind of casually gauge the differences between the two games. And I didn't find much of a difference. The only thing that I really felt was the absence of the Gatling combos, where you can just go from one button to the next. Although some characters in Strive had, well, they had the Gatling combos. It's just that there were some buttons that were designed to be Gatling-esque, if you would, compared to others. I mean, I guess in the original Guilty Gear games, your standard Gatling combo would take you from punch to slash to heavy slash, or something of that nature. However, in Guilty Gear, if you were to go punch slash to heavy slash with soul, it wouldn't work. Although, you could go slash to heavy slash. And it still feels like a Gatling combo. It's just much shorter and much limited. I do feel that there were Gatling combos in Strive. They were just limited to certain buttons. So it was interesting to try and figure out, new combo routes. It's a new game, right? Everyone's playing really differently. There is off the top of my head, Soul has a forward slash move in Strive, where it's kind of like a long range poke. That was interesting, using that instead of the standard slash from Revelator 2. You know what? I might actually think that his standard slash from Revelator 2 is the same one that, or has a similar hitbox to the forward slash in the Strive beta, or in the Strive game. Now that I think about it, they do. It's very, very similar. So it's funny that it's now like a forward move instead of just pressing slash. This slash button in Strive is just a punch, like a close range punch. Which Gatlings into heavy slash if you just push heavy slash right after it. Why am I talking about this again? I'm getting off track here. Anyways, oh yeah. Moving on, switching topics to the user interface. I do remember a while back. I remember reading about people not liking like the user interface, about like the rounds and how it's kept track of through hearts and the absence of hearts and stuff like that. I thought that was cool. I always thought that was something fresh and new and interesting thing to use. The thing that immediately came to mind was Legend of Zelda, just because that's the game I associate like heart containers and stuff like that. So for me, I didn't mind it at all. I'm actually a fan. Well, I wouldn't say a fan of. I actually like the user interface. It's not something that I tend to pay attention to, unless it's something blatantly lackluster, like say the user interface for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Just to provide an example, that I did. That was beyond not noticing. I had to be blind not to notice how much more better it could have been. The only reason why I actually paid attention to the UI for Strive was just because it was fresh and new. It was popping, very colorful, and the heart thing was a fresh and new take on round counts. So, I mean, as I said before, no problems there. Oh, I think now I remember why I was talking about Gatling combos. Stuff that weren't in or that was heavily adjusted in this new Strive game. What else was there that was new? Oh, air dashing. Yeah, there's a delay for air dashing in Strive compared to, or at least forward air dashing in Strive. There is a small delay. It takes a while for it to start up, which took a short amount of time for me to get used to. I'm used to, you know, just doing it instantly and happening when I want it to. So to see the little touchpad thing pop up behind their legs as they get ready, like, to vault forward, that kind of threw me off a bit. But after a few, you know, a few moments of just trying to get used to, like, the timing and stuff, it wasn't that much big of a deal anymore. Interesting how the backdash happens fast. I do believe the backdash, the air dashes, the backdashes in the air happen almost instantaneously, as opposed to the forward dashes. I think they might be there just to limit, you know, offensive movement in the midair. So that was an interesting thing. Interesting, but not unwelcome. Not unwelcome. It actually reminds me of Devil May Cry, how you can double jump in the air and there's a little platform that comes up under you. That's what that's the first thing I thought of when I saw that. I did some spur of the moment experimentation inside of certain matches with the Roman cancel. Whenever I remembered, oh, I have that, let me try to use that, I would sporadically try to use it and see what I can do, you know, off the top of my head in the spur of the moment, and it was fun. I did feel that there was a lot more time to do things with the Roman cancel, as opposed to, say, Rev 2, where you have a limited amount of time to do your inputs. I think they just made it easier to do things with the Roman cancel. I mean, you still have to have, you know, a certain level of execution to do things, but I do feel you have more time to do stuff now, or that it's easier because there's more time to use the Roman cancel. Yeah. I think the number one thing that appealed to me about the game was the way counter hits were shown, were displayed. It just made it seem so big and strong and like, oh, counter hit. I would like to play the game again someday, for sure.